All right, for today's session, we are focusing on how to use Google Analytics and able to retrieve the information and data from Google Merchandise Store to be used for dimensional modeling. As we understand, the main focus of learning dimensional modeling is to be able to use BI tool to generate custom report, query, and analysis. BI tool, like such as the Google Analytics, will make it easy for user to identify like what is the business, and then like also like what is the grain, and also like able like to identify what is the dimension and also the fact, and also like this to make a business report able to be digest easily and will be a good additional like a tool like for organization like to make a decision in the present and for the future. So one of the tool that we are going to use is a Google Analytics, and this is a great BI tool, and this will make easy like to identify like what is the grain and the dimension and the defect from the e-commerce of like Google Merchandise Store. So in this presentation, like I will teach, the goal is going to be like learning to understand the active user, learning to understand demographic users, defining users based on interest category, identify sales performance, and identify revenue from different channels. So we are going to move on the first slide. This one is identify active users. So in here, the step one is going to be like click audience. And then like we are, after like once we already reach to the audience, like, and then we can click the active users. One second. Okay, first we can go like to audience and go to active users. So we have to make sure the range of the data here is from April 1 to April 7, according like to the presentations. So we like this report can tell us like what is the how many users in one day, in 7 days, 14 days, in 28 days. Also, like if we take a look on the overview, we are able like to determine like how many like a session like it's happening like per user, and also like how many users, how many new users, how many sessions is happening during that day. For the second part, that we are learning like to identify demographic users. In order to do that, step one, like click the audience, and then the click the audience is going to be like it's always going to be shown audience, and then like step two, like you can choose like demographics, and then like step three, overview. For the next one, that you're able like to identify user based on the interest. Like how you do it, like first like click the audience, and then like the step two, click interest, and then step three, click overview. So when you click the audience and in the interest and the overview, then like what you are going to see is how let me just like go over on the Google Analytics. So give me one second. Let me just pull the data here. Page 3, identify user based on interests. All right. So what we want to do, get to audience, and then like click the interests, and then like we can like just check like from the overview in here. And again, always make sure that like the April, the range of the dates is going to be the same, like as we speak like through the presentation, April 1 to April 7. So you can choose like any kind of dates. But in here, I'm just going to pull example like from section 1, from the presentation, like slide 1, like I already put like as April 1 to April 7. So once we already in the overview of the interest page, we can see like how many types of like how many types of users that are like they try to focus in a different field, like such as like first as a shoppers, they're like another like user, or like shoppers like interested in the technology, in the media. They are like also interested like within the travel, and also in the lifestyle and hobbies. So this page is giving you like a different type of like uh, interest per user. And then the next slide is like being able like to identify the most revenue on products. So first what you want to do is like head to the conversion. Let's see, where's conversion? You want to go to the conversion and then click e-commerce, and then like click product performance. So there are like product performance, sales performance, like based on the product performance. So we can identify like exactly like what is the grain like in this type of business model. So example like Google Incognito TechPack V2, it's the most it gives you like the highest product revenue among all the Google merchandise store items. And if we click like based on the sales performance, we can see like based on the transaction ID. So per transaction, we can see what is the highest what is the highest purchase that like per user achieve. It's called like a goal completion. I'm gonna click like this one example. So as you can see, Google Incognito TechPack V2, it shows like it's the most like it gives you like the highest like revenue from other Google products. So all this data like we are able like to later on like we are able like to create to identify like the grain, and then like put it into the custom report. And then the last part is going to be identify revenue from different channel. First, click the acquisition, and then like click the traffic, and then like step 3, you can like click and point out to the channels. All right, so this is like from April 1 to April 7. So the goal, by showing you this, we are able like to understand like what is like the profit like for the revenue that Google merchandise store able to produce. But there are like a different channel grouping in here. There's like organic search. Based on like organic search, like when people like uh they shop Google merchandise store because like they able like to find like this website through the Google search, organic search. And then there's like direct, and then there's like a referral. Like referral is like from friends, people like able like to uh, referral like to other people like to purchase like Google products like from based on like a the the person is able like to give like such a like a referral code to another person to purchase like this product. So we are able to make a classification what kind of like type of like revenue that you are looking for in here. And also like by secondary dimensions, we also can add like another the secondary dimension in here is the function is like we're able to give any kind of like exclusion or something that we want to include. Example like in the e-commerce. Check out options. So the secondary dimension, they will add you like another column in here, and we are able like to identify, let's say we want to see what is the revenue, like based on the billing and shipping for on the organic search, and it's going to be, it will show reflect like $392.45. Yeah, so these presentations, like I just want to show you on how to use like Google Analytics and what Google Analytics is capable to do. Like what can you do, what can you use with this Google Analytics. But this is like a BI tool, this is like a perfect tool. Like if you want to start like if you want to use it like for as a dimensional modeling, like to identify like the business model and also like identify like the grain, and then like try to identify like the dimension and the fact table. So thank you very much for joining this presentation.